Hello, my darlings. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another Instagram Live with me. This time I have got Maddie with joining me very, very soon here. He is the tarot gamer on here, and I'm super excited for him. We're going to let this kind of just kick up it, and while we're doing that, I'm going to fix my eyes. Do you hate it? Don't you just hate it when you get eyes or your hair in your eyes? Good horde. All right, and there he is. So, Maddie, do me a favor, request to join here, and let's bring you on. So, as you can see, I've got my sons on today from Five Lemons Company. She's got a few more that she's made, and I'm super excited to get them. So, all right. There it is. And thought I did. Come on. Go live with the Tarot Gamer. Aha.
Hello.
How are you, love?
I'm good. How are you, Queen?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm a little overheating, but
Me
it's
too.
Florida. I'm in drag, so it happens.
It happens. You look very fierce, by the way.
Thank you. I decided to do a little bit more of a sunny look today. I was thinking, do I do blues? Do I do lighter colors? But I'm like, I haven't worn the sun earrings yet from my friend at Five Lemons, so let's do sun colors.
Absolutely love it, of course. Love
So
that energy.
I'm gonna warn you ahead of time. I constantly fuss with my hair. So if you see me doing this, I really am paying attention. It's literally constantly
That's okay.
fussing. So who do we have with us? We have X Turtle Box. I love that.
That's
Thin
my
Flips
fiance.
Cards. That's who, what?
That's my fiance, Turtle Box.
Oh, that's so cute. I'm gonna
Yeah,
turn you
he's
up.
he's watching. He's being very supportive.
Aw. Hi, fiance. Thanks for joining. Finn, of course, Finn is just a wonderful guy.
Love
So we're gonna
Finn.
wait for just a little bit to let some people on. But for the viewers who come on, give us a little bit about you. What are you up to? What do you like to do? What are your things? What brings you on Instagram? Give us just like the Cliff Note version.
The spiel. All right. So my name is Maddie. I'm 23, almost 24. I've been reading tarot for about a year. Let's see. My fiance and I, we moved to Ohio to save some money, and we're going to chase our dream and buy an RV and travel the country. Hopefully,
Yeah.
do some readings around that time. So that'll be really fun. I just started my clothing company called Obsidian Desert. So that's been keeping me very busy. Tarot has been so much fun, a great distraction and guide to help me with a lot of that stuff. And so we're just trying to stay safe during COVID. Trying to get my business going and having a lot of fun in tarot.
Awesome. So Obsidian Desert, what kind of designs do you do? Are you like a t-shirt? Do you have like cartoon? Do you do tarot something on your designs? Give us a little bit of a background on that.
Sure. Obsidian Desert is all about living authentically. That's like the core mission of our statement. Regardless of how you identify, we want you to feel authentically you in your clothing. And that's really important because I think a lot of clothing companies now are just trying to sell a product or sell a brand. We're trying to at least offer you like confidence and like security. So with Obsidian Desert, we do a lot of modern and simple designs, but we also do a little bit of like edgy, a little bit of darker stuff. It's been really fun. It's taught me so much about owning a business and a lot of responsibility, of course. And
And all at the age of 23. I mean, at all at the age of
yes,
23. I'm going to reiterate all at the age of 23.
yes.
He's already got his life planned out. He's got a fiance. He's got a business. He's got two businesses if you include tarot, and he's only 23 years old.
Well, she's a professional, Hanny.
She's a hustler. She is a hustler and a bustler. You
Hustler and a
hustle. You
bustler.
can hustle. I got the bust. Um,
Yes, perfect.
And I want to highlight, so on this, we are going to be doing some questions. So please, for
Mhm.
those of you that are viewing, please submit your questions with the question box. We'll bring those up and we'll pull some cards a little bit later on in this. But I want to highlight that for you, you do a really fun tarot reading for each sign. So you go live and then you do a video where you literally just pull a card for each sign of the zodiac, which, I mean, it's kind of like, well, duh. And I think that's so unique because I've never seen somebody do that type of a reading. I'm just like, I'll do a 3 card, I'll do a 4 card, I'll do a five
Hmm.
card, and that's just my reflection for the day. What inspired that, or what got you to say, "Hey, I've not seen somebody do this." Like, what was the inspiration for doing the tarot cards by the signs?
Well, the first thing, tarot for me has always been very casual. I don't have a very like deep emotional connection to it because I believe that all of the power that you give tarot is the power that it's going to give back. So
Mm.
I want to make sure that my relationship with my cards and like my spirituality is very casual, very relaxed, kind of like talking to like a friend. And sometimes you don't always want to listen to your friend because their advice isn't that good. But sometimes you're like, I didn't think of that. And then you have a new frame of mind. But as far as my lives, I really just wanted to first of all practice because I think you can always practice, you can always learn more. And if you read a card a certain way for a while, you kind of lose some of the other parts of the meaning. So it's nice to kind of keep refreshing yourself, being like, oh, this card has this in it, and so this could mean something else in this situation. You're always learning, always adapting, always growing. And my Sundays are usually pretty slow. So in the morning, I like to have like my coffee, my breakfast, like a good start to my week. I'm like, all right, people, here's what we need to know for the week. My Aries, my Taurus, my Gemini, and then I just like to go down the list. I think it's like a good organized way to do it, and I think it's kind of fun for people because they're like, "Oh, that's my card," and then they're able to kind of feel interacted with it as well.
Well, and I think too, you pointed out something that's really, I think, very, very valuable in that the card's meaning was going to change depending on the context. And,
Hmm.
I can pull the High Priestess, but the High Priestess is going to mean something different to me as a Gemini than it is to say somebody who's a Taurus or somebody who's a Pisces. And that you're a Taurus, aren't you?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, my sister's a Taurus too, so don't worry. Don't worry, I know how to handle the bulls.
Okay,
Finn,
stubborn and
Obsidian is my
flamboyant.
partner's favorite stone. Is that part of the brand too? So Finn flips cards is asking if Obsidian is a part of your brand as well, because it's, yeah, Coco
Yeah,
Peru. I
it
could
was.
love with this wig, Phoebe. This really is my Coco Peru wig, so
It
we're
really
not
is. I
fighting.
love it. That's so funny. Honestly, Obsidian Desert was part of the name, kind of like get the picture in your mind. I love the aesthetic of like Southwestern, like desert Americana, like road going for miles, and it's just you can't see it until it hits the horizon. And then the Obsidian part was really just to bring in that like edginess and like it's like ooh, it's not just like pretty and fancy and flamboyant. It's like, oh, it's dark. It's a little dark girl. So that's pretty much how I came
Awesome.
up with it.
So a random fact that I know about obsidian, just because where I grew up in Oregon, the desert of Oregon, we have a lot of obsidian that naturally occurs.
Mm.
We got Sugar Spice by here. We got Benny Money. Hello, guys. Say
Hi,
hello if you've just
everyone.
joined.
Hello,
Say
hello.
hello, please engage in the conversation. Everybody knows that I like conversation because, well, I am a Gemini. Um,
Hmm.
but
I'm a
obsidian,
Gemini sun, so I could talk forever.
yeah, yeah. I'm a Gemini sun too, so
Oh
we
my
got
God, so we're basically sisters.
yeah. It's like looking in a mirror. Uh,
Exactly.
obsidian actually, when it shatters in a cone, and the
Oh,
edge of obsidian is exactly one molecule thick. That's how fine the point is, which is why it's used so often in tools to native tools or really really ancient tools to cut.
that is
And
so
you're right,
cool.
it's a beautiful stone, but it's also a very dangerous stone if used in a wrong in a way. So it's like gorgeous and deep and also edge, like it's got that nice edge to it. We have pastry princess.
Yeah.
Oh, pastry princess, I love it. I love pastries. I love a good
Hello,
donut. Are these all
hello.
your friends? Are these all? I don't know who these people are. So are these all yours?
Pastry Princess is my friend. We actually just reconnected after a few years of having like our own time, but we are sisters. We were meant to be best friends forever, and I told her about it, and she's so excited and wants to learn about tarot too. So I recommended
Awesome.
her to this.
Awesome. Well, this is a great segue into tarot then. Let's do a couple of just, I guess, a couple of like lightning round questions here. First and foremost,
Yes, let's do it.
what is, and this is kind of a two-parter question, so if it's the same, that's fine, but what is the deck that you are currently using, and what is your favorite version of the tarot? So,
So the current deck I'm using is the, let me put the cap on. Classic Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, the Los Scarabeo edition. I learned from the traditional meanings and from the cards because I think that's the best way to do it. And I really, this is like basically like my general deck that I use like for just whenever I need to do something quick or for my posts. My favorite deck right now, I actually have the Saint Jinx Arcana, the Divine Masculine Uncut deck. That one's my favorite.
you're the second person who has a deck by St. Jinx, and I
Yeah,
actually am going to be picking that up because some of the artwork we can't show it here because it's
no.
the uncensored is very uncensored. It's very much like tarot meets Tom of Finland, and
Yes, that's an amazing way of describing it. Absolutely.
but it's also very. I mean, his artwork is gorgeous. I love it because it's a very much a celebration of the masculine body, and not all of the bodies are chiseled and cut and all of that. Some of them are really curvy. So beautiful.
Yeah, and I think also with tarot, sometimes people get a very feminine vibe from it, but I like incorporating masculine elements into tarot. I like being like short sometimes and direct and like, listen, these are the facts. This is how you need to do it, Mary.
Awesome. So, and you said you've been reading tarot for about a year now.
About a year.
What is your favorite card or what is your signifier?
So those are two different cards. The card that is my favorite is the Queen of Wands because she is bad bitch. I don't need to worry about you kind of card.
She's a
You know,
redhead.
yes, of course. And she's fierce. She's got her flower. She has her cat. She's like, I don't need nobody to tell me nothing, girl. But for me, whenever the card that represents me in my decks is the Knight of Pentacles, because when I am vulnerable and I'm in a bad situation, I'm like, all right, we're shutting it down. We're not moving. We're figuring this out now.
Got it. Awesome. So let's see here. We got Betty Money. I am from Florida, so my love. I'm here in Orlando. Jocelyn
Yeah.
Girl, hello, welcome.
Hi,
Then
Jocelyn
let's
girl.
the
That's my best friend, stepmom Paula. Love you, Paula.
uh-huh.
Hi, Schmoopy.
And seeing the dude can draw. It's true. Yeah, the dude can draw. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I what I enjoy so much about this community is that what I thought I was stepping into with just tarot readers and card readers has turned into meeting people who make products and who are incredible artists. And
Yeah, so many creatives, so many people that are
yeah,
just like artistic as a whole, and it's so nice to see all these people work together. Absolutely.
yeah. I think one of my favorites is Wick Arts, who made my caricature, the picture of
Mm-hmm.
me, you know, with my
Yeah, that's
hands like
so
this, and
nice.
the card is so beautiful to a point where I've actually commissioned him to do another piece. But more on that a little bit later. You get
Ooh,
to
very
see how he
nice.
the world.
Yes.
Beautiful. But let's not waste a lot more time just talking about the tarot and all that. I'm sure you guys have questions. So this is going to be a live reading. So in order for us to do live readings, people, we need questions. So submit your questions in the chat. Submit your questions in the question box. We'll get to it. We'll read it out, and give you what we see. So in the meantime, I'm just going to have you guys admire my eyebrows because, well, for the first time ever, I've actually got them to a point where I want them. You know that saying where people say eyebrows are sisters, not
Not
twins?
twins.
Sometimes are distantly related cousins. So
Yeah, very that, very that.
awesome. All right, I'm
That's
kind of just waiting.
awesome.
All right, so guys, input your questions in the comments section here. I think it'll be a little bit easier to keep track of, so we can get those. We can pull cards for you guys here. I myself, so for the month of March, because I'm not going to say how many decks of cards I own.
Oh no.
I've been at it for a while,
Hmm.
but each month this year, I'm actually dedicating that entire month to one deck of cards. Last month, it was the Ravens Tarot, the Crows Tarot, which was
Yes. Yep.
a surprisingly beautiful deck. I thought I was going to hate it because I thought, it's kind of drab. I don't like crows. It was actually very great. And
And that's a good thing
oh
because you
yes, I
never
think I saw
know.
you last week at Old. I was at Old Town last week, Betty. I actually was at Old Town. So this month, though, because anybody who knows me, I am a water baby. I'm using the Oceanic Tarot, which I
Oh, very
love.
nice.
It's by Jane Wallace, and we'll show you some of the artwork here in just a second. And it actually pairs incredibly well with a little deck of cards. I kid you not, and I mean little. Like these are tiny.
Yeah, those are
They're
really tiny.
called Sea Melodies by Jessica. I believe it's Lay. It could be Lee or Lay. I think it's Jessica Lay.
Those are
Um,
pretty.
I love them, and these are
Oh
just like
yeah.
great little advice cards, which I like to do readings with. The two of them work well together because the underwater theme, and um, I had a total fangirl moment where the creator of the Sea Melodies deck follows me on Instagram, just like I follow her.
That's
And whenever she's
awesome.
like, "Tag me next time, I'll feature you," and I'm like, "Yes, I've got to remember to do that because
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm fangirling over this. I'm fangirling. I'm sorry."
Yeah.
So
Do you have any oracle cards or like other different types of cards?
I do indeed. So I have a little three-tiered like rack
Hmm.
next to me there, which is why I'm looking over to my left. And my top tier is all tarot cards, and I actually have about a third of tarot cards, and then my other two-thirds of my cards are oracle cards. Separated. This is me attempting to be attempting to not be a Gemini. I'm going to move you down here. Push the wrong button. All right,
Oh, that's okay.
I'm back. Oh, we got a question here.
Yes, you're
I'll get to
back.
that. But I have oracle cards separated by oracle cards with like people in them or personifications. So gods, goddesses, divine feminine. One of the favorite ones I picked up is called the Music Oracle, which is all about musicians, everybody from opera singers to R&B to
That's
blues, to
cool. I
pop.
love
It's
that.
fantastic. Yeah, it's wonderful because it was literally staring me right in the face once when I saw it at a bookstore. Uh, and then the very bottom is oracle decks that are based around other things. So like moonology,
Okay.
the phases of the moon, the Oracle of Seven, the kitches, the kitchen, the witch's kitchen, and the witch's oracle. That type of a thing.
Nice.
So I also have my cardomancy decks, so the decks of cards that I just my playing cards, and then also what I call
Hmm.
tarot adjacent things like the Akashic Tarot, tarot cards that are a little bit more not quite tarot in the formal word, but yeah. So
Yeah.
I actually
I
want to
have
take a
one like
shout
that
out.
called
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, I have a tarot-esque deck. I think it's the Forest of Enchantment tarot, and that one was hard to learn because I was like trying to learn all the suits, and then I was like trying to get the names. I'm like, okay, right, this one is okay, and that can totally like throw you off on a reading though.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I love the with tarot, I absolutely love how people take a lot of liberties and find the symbolism in so many things.
Hmm.
But as a beginner, if you don't know if you don't know like the origin of like the Rider Waite, which is what I know a lot of us go towards,
Hmm.
learn can be so difficult after that. And like you said earlier, it's a process. It's always a constant learning process. There are times when I will do like a reading with Julius, and I'm like,
Hmm.
Julius, remind me of this card because my mind just went blank. And he's like, it's about this. And like, yes, thank you. So great. Shall we
Yeah.
get to this question?
Sure, let's get to it.
So, Finn flips cards. Anything to look out for when I go visit my folks this month? So, let's see what we got.
Let's get
This is fun because
into
I'm actually
it.
learning. I'm learning new stuff. I'm learning how to do these things. So,
Hmm.
Finn, Julius, and I will be going live next Thursday, and I'm going to be the one actually moderating it all. So, I'm going to be the one in charge of all the technology. We also have Witchy Leo guy. Witchy Leo guy.
Hello.
I'm imagining a very strong male witch with fantastic hair.
And he knows it. And
Most
he
Leos,
knows it.
I mean, most Leos.
Yeah.
So, all right. All right, I'm going to take this down so you can see here. So anything to look out for when I visit my folks this month?
Very, very good question. I mean, you gotta be prepared.
First and foremost, please be safe.
Yes, definitely, definitely be safe. Luckily in Ohio, it hasn't been too crazy, but I don't ever want to get myself or anyone around me sick. So we've been extremely cautious.
Yeah, I was living in Ohio when the lockdown happened, and it was. I mean, thankfully there was a lot of parks in Columbus, so I could walk around. But
Yep.
sometimes it was like I what do I do? I'm seriously like, what do I do with myself? So okay,
Oh
I've
yeah.
got so I pulled two cards, so I'll wait for you.
Two cards? All right. I'll do two as well. All right.
All right, so I pulled the Three of Wands. Oops. I pulled the Three of Wands and I pulled the Eight of Pentacles. The Three of
Ooh.
Wands is actually in the I always go back to the classic symbology because as you can see, it doesn't have that. This is more of a pip style um,
Mm-hmm.
deck. But the Three of Wands, I go back to the man who is looking at the horizon. So, he is surveying the ships coming in. So what I'm seeing first and foremost is it says motivation, but I'm seeing a lot of just like I've planned this, I'm ready for this to happen. Like I've planned for everything I possibly can. So I'm feeling kind of like this sense of ease and the sense of okay, this is going to happen because I made it happen and I'm ready for it to happen. The Eight of Pentacles it says achievement on the card, and I really can't go any more than that. Like, just to me, it's just like, really, it's like you've been planning for this, you've planned for everything you possibly can. Don't get into a mindset of catastrophe because that's going to take away from what you're going to enjoy. You've made it happen, so just enjoy this and have
Mm-hmm.
a wonderful time because you're going to see your folks. So that's what I'm picking up from
Yes.
the cards. How about you?
So I actually pulled the Queen of Wands and the Emperor.
Ooh.
So I'll start. So Queen of Wands was first. Maybe maybe this is your mom or somebody in your family, somebody that they know they're right, but they're not mean about it. They have a lot of wisdom. They're able to communicate it well. Very soft, like maybe a feminine energy. And they always do what's right. So if you have someone like that in your right, I usually associate the court cards with people. So this could be somebody, but if it's not a person, this could just be an energy. Maybe you've achieved the point in your relationship with your parents where you can kind of just sit down and you know, talk about whatever, shoot the shit, excuse my language, but and that's nice. That's a point you want to get to with your parents where you can all kind of communicate at that intellectual level that you weren't able to when you were younger. And then I think with the emperor, this is your father, somebody who's a little more traditional, somebody who's very routine, very plays by the rules, does the right thing. And that doesn't necessarily have to be like negative traits. So it could be very good things. He does things for people because that's what he believes. He wants to be a strong leader. It could be how he works with somebody. So I'm getting very much like this is how the energy of like your parents might be. You have maybe your one parent, and I'm not going to say which one is which because it shouldn't matter based off of that, only energy. Um, so I would say the Queen of Swords, you're going to have someone where it's going to be very soft intellectual conversation, and you're going to have someone who's going to be a little more firm.
I'm picking up too with the cards just a maturity. I feel like this
Mm,
is a this
yes,
is
yeah, yeah.
a this is a seeing each other as adults as opposed to parent and children. So I feel like there's a going to be a very mature, comfortable air around this whole trip. So,
Yeah. And if you
but
look at the
again, be
cards
safe.
too, oh yes, of course, be safe, but this is kind of funny. If you look at the cards too, like she's kind of looking at him and he's just like I don't want to hear it. Like I know I don't want to hear it. So maybe you're gonna get that kind of vibe too. And that doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but
Mhm. Thanks, y'all. The Texas cover has made it feel a bit weird to travel at the moment. Appreciate. Yeah, I believe with Texas, especially with what's going on in Texas, and so
Texas is
and
a Mexis, honey.
And again, just please be safe. Please be safe.
Everyone be safe, of course.
All
That
right.
was
Thank
fun.
you,
Thanks for
Finn.
the
Safe travels to
question.
you, and please check in with us. Let us know how it goes.
Oh,
Um,
totally. Yeah, I want to know. I want all to see.
all of it. All of it.
All
All
of
right.
it.
We need some more questions, guys. So please ask questions by using the question mark in the little thought box here. Click on that,
Yeah.
type
Or
in your
if you
question, and then we'll bring it up. Or put it in the
Yeah, or
comments.
if you have a question that doesn't need a card reading necessarily, but something you want like our opinions on, I would be fine doing that too.
Yeah. Or questions about what we do as tarot readers.
Mm-hmm.
I've myself, my own story. I've been a tarot reader for just about as long as I've been a performer. So the two have always paralleled each other, and it wasn't until October of last year that I literally said, "Why am I not combining the two?" And then this was born, and it reminded me that I can be disciplined and have the business and have the tarot cards and at the same time have fun with the drag and the outfits and the makeup and of course the jewelry. I'm going to show these
Of
off again because I
course.
love these
Definitely.
earrings.
Absolutely.
In fact, I
Absolutely.
have some more coming from her. This is from my friend Five Lemons Company. The moment she got these, I said, I'm probably going to own 22 pairs before I'm done because found all the major arcana. Love it.
Yeah, and
So,
I've seen a few people shout her out. You especially. I've seen a few other people. I think Teresa the Tarot Lady, I think shouted them out once or twice.
mhm.
So I haven't ordered from them personally, but they seem very genuine, very nice from what I've heard, and their products look really amazing.
She does. She has some great stuff, and the very first pair of earrings I bought from her are the slider from a tarot or from an Ouija board. I was seeing
Oh,
Halloween
those are
show. I'm like,
fierce.
well, that sounds perfect. I've got a pair of candy canes from her. She has got fun, quirky, some of it's kind of mod type stuff. I'm gonna let you go ahead and just keep talking because my CML, just as you were talking, I literally was shuffling them and they exploded all over me. So they're all over my floor right
Oh
now. So
no.
I will be right back, okay?
No, that's fine. Well, that brings up an interesting point, because you were talking about combining like your drag and your tarot. That's kind of why I decided to rebrand my account. I originally my name was like Modern Gay Tarot, and I was trying to be like that little twink best friend that you can go to advice with. But I really wanted to incorporate something I love. My absolute favorite hobby culture of all time is video games. I will always be playing video games until the day I die. But I really wanted to stream myself playing my video games and kind of forming like a community. And kind of, I had the same kind of like tower moment that you had, where it was very much like, oh, like, why am I just not combining them? Because they're two things that I love and two things I want to like incorporate together. So why can't I just do it? And then I eventually planned out my rebranding, and then so far I think it's been really successful. I sometimes I feel like I can't separate them when I want to, but that's kind of just part of like how I've established myself. But overall, it has disciplined me more as well, and it's just been fun. Like, why not have fun with it?
I think when you get to a point of and I mean, I say this in broad terms, but I feel like when you get to a certain point or a certain level in whatever it is you're doing, you lose the fun of it all, you lose the joy behind it, then something needs to be adjusted. I'm very open about originally I was an opera singer. I sang opera for years and I
That's
loved it
awesome.
until it became an actual job. And I loved the music. I loved performing. I loved to research. And then one day I lost my voice because I had been doing so much. I just taxed my voice. And in the silence afterwards, I literally said to myself, I am completely miserable singing opera. And me being me, I'm like, well, that was a tower moment. If I'm not happy doing it, then there's no point in me continuing to pretend. Even though I've spent the time and I've got the masters in music and all of that, I can always come back to it. So,
Hmm.
Tarot Therapy by Bon. Hello,
Hi,
darlings.
tarot
Leave any
therapy.
questions. Otherwise, you could just hear us talk all night. I know I could hear us talk all night because we're
Oh,
Geminis.
of
But give
course.
us questions. We want to read your cards, guys. You have a choice. Either we
Yeah.
read the cards or we are going to be forced to read each other. Actually, I shouldn't say that because they probably would love us reading
Oh
each other.
no.
But
I could never. I could never.
so, yeah, and I mean, wherever there is, joy must follow, I feel. Like I take that so personally. And
Yeah.
ultimately, if you make money at it, great. But at the end of the day, did you enjoy doing it? Like that's the thing. Did you enjoy what it is you enjoy it and did you make a difference for somebody? And
Yeah,
you
and
might
I
go
I would
ahead.
say like I think part of the burnout too is that especially for like queer creators, we have to work twice as hard because not only do we have to prove to people that we're valid beyond our sexual identity and our gender expression, but it's also like, hey, like this is representation of like a queer or it's a sexual creative queer person. Like we exist, like stop worrying about like what all these other people are doing in this like heteronormative world. Like why not
Mhm.
give us queer creators a try? And I think the good thing with tarot, there is a lot of queerness to tarot in general. And so I think people relate to it because you see bright pictures, you see artistry, it's meanings, it's deep conversations that you can have with yourself and other people. And through those experiences, you can essentially like help guide yourself through your own coming out process, through your own kind of like sexual gender expression identity. But you know, for queer people, I feel like we don't always have to work twice as hard, especially in like the tarot industry, because it is very queer, like accepting.
Mhm. Especially because I feel like it gets outside of the Judeo-Christian construct, that
Yes, of
box.
course.
A lot of it's why I feel like a lot of people are doing great things with interpretations of the cards, like the classic one that many gay and queer
High
people
waters.
High Waters Falls. So Waters Falls, my friend down here, who she's Waters Falls is kind of like my mouthpiece. Like Waters, I need to do something. How can we get the word out? And Waters like, I got it. Let me do it, and takes care of all the social media stuff for me. Um,
You need people
but
like that.
yeah, I love it. And like that's what you were saying before, the Hierophant. A lot of people have a lot of I've noticed, and I noticed this in myself too. I layer a lot of judgment on the Hierophant because of its classic depiction.
Nobody likes the Hierophant. They don't want to touch it. They don't want to read it. They want nothing to do with it. They're like, I'll just redraw. Nobody saw me.
Right, right. And at the same time, like in the Light Seers tarot, the Hierophant is this hippie-looking guy sitting down with a deck or a staircase next to him. He's laughing. He's kind of like that weird, hippie guy that you would see living out of his van. In the Everyday Witch Tarot, it's a yoga instructor. It's kind of like this is somebody who teaches in a formal structure. So the Hierophant could be a teacher. It could be a
Yes,
college
yes.
professor. The
A
Hierophant,
mentor.
yeah, a mentor. The Hierophant in my realm could have been my voice teacher, whose studio I sang in because
Yeah.
they were the ones that mentored me through my process. It's all about the mentorship and how that shows itself in a formal structure, like an institution, over the papal what have you. So,
Yeah, Hierophant is definitely, it gets a little fuzzy because of the traditional meaning, but it's also important to kind of know like your tarot history. Like this is an old deck. These images and decks and whole idea are old.
mhm,
Like we didn't know we would be this evolved into society where we're starting to like break down these systems and really question what they do. But I also feel like because we talked about earlier, like for new tarot readers, you need to get the classics, you need to understand the base definition of each card, and that can be very like off-putting, very intimidating, but you have to understand the context and the time frame and also how that kind of energy applies in your life. And once you have an example of it that you can reference, then that meaning starts to grow.
exactly. I think too, it's a great self transformation tool as well because if there is a card that you twitch, all right, that's bringing up some emotion in you. That's bringing up a response, a knee jerk reaction response in you. That's perfect. What's behind that? The
Yes.
Hierophant, of course, some of the classic ones, the Hierophant, the Tower, because people don't want to think about destruction. The Devil, which is, and in some decks, I reference the Lightseers Devil a lot. The Devil in the Lightseers Tarot is downright sexy. Like he's a very good looking devil. It's not the classic red horned, demon.
Hmm.
It is a shirtless, really chiseled man. He has nothing in his eyes, like his eyes are completely blacked out, reaching out his hand to you, like enticing you in.
Same for
Um,
the Saint Jinx Divine Masculine deck as well. That devil very is supposed to be sexy and intimidating and like trying to get you in. You know what I mean?
right. And, for me, the devil is not just about somebody evil coming at me trying to take me over. It's about temptation. It's about indulgence. It can also be about I mean, I kid you not. If the devil card came up to me like that, I would I would turn and run. It's like I'm intimidated by that because that's a very sexy man, and I'm like I don't feel like it's a there's a self-worth conversation there that I'm like I just don't feel worthy to have that attention. So is that about insecurity on my end? And that's a great tool for when you're first starting to learn the tarot. What is it about the card that makes you twitch? Like, if it makes you uncomfortable, what is that? Because there's something there that you can dive into, which is, I've been in
Yeah.
the work of transformation for almost 4 years now, and I love that. I used to hate it. Now I'm just like, oh, there's a resistance there. Let's dive into that and see what happens. So,
Oh yeah. I got death twice in a row in the same spot in my three card spreads. I did 2 days in a row. I got death right in the middle, and I'm like, okay. I was like, I'm not gonna be scared and freak out. I'm like, but I'm gonna be scared and freak out a little bit.
it's like, now that I've had my emotional response, what does this mean?
Yeah, and then you have to like go into it. And I think kind of going off of that too, it's like there's a lot of like stereotypes of the cards. Like if I had $1 for every three of swords tattoo I've seen, I would be rich enough to pay for the laser removal
Hmm.
because you don't, and some people, it's just, it gets kind of like, it gets very glitzy, very glammy, very like, ooh, like I'm gonna piggyback off of the aesthetic. And so sometimes I think, I don't really know where I was going with that. That's just something that I thought. It was a point. That it was a valid point. You get a lot of swords. Thanks, babe.
You're a thinker, huh? You're an overthinker.
Mm-hmm. A little bit. Because that's part of the Gemini sun. Because so for my birth chart, I'm literally like as close to a cusp as you can get. I was born at 11:10 p.m. on May 20th.
Okay, so you're on the front side of Gemini. See, I'm on the back side. I'm June 19.
So you're more like the emotional and the Gemini. I'm more of like the
Yeah.
stubbornness and the rigid and the Gemini. Hmm.
I say, what happens if you shove two people in a shell? Because I basically am twins on a half shell.
Yeah,
Yeah, because that cusp of Cancer.
true.
So thank you, Otters. Thank you, Otters. So, okay, people, come on, interact, give us questions.
Yeah, we love to hear what you guys want us to talk about.
Yeah, what do you guys have questions about? What can we pull cards for you on? And while you're doing that, you know what I love about these lives is that everything is from basically my neck up. I don't have to wear paddings or tights or anything like that. However, my
Yeah.
dress my dress is riding up, so excuse me while I adjust. I still want to be somewhat a lady.
Well,
I mean,
I appreciate that, so yeah.
I'm sure. I hope people appreciate the effort because this
Yes.
it takes a lot of work to look this. I don't know. Am I cheap tonight? I don't know. I'm colorful. I'll give you that.
No,
I'm
you
very
were
colorful
fabulous tonight. Coco Peru, realness.
tonight. Yes, I
Absolutely.
do enjoy me a little Coco Peru. She's one of the OGs.
What sign is
Uh,
she?
huh?
What sign is Coco Peru, do you think?
I don't know. I would look it up on Google. However, I'm using my phone for that right now, so we'll have to look that up.
We'll have to
'Cause
look that up. We'll just dissect that next time.
So yeah, enter in your questions, guys. All friends, all five of you that are watching, enter in your questions and let us give your let us pull a few cards for you here, because six now, and just engage in the conversation. Maddie and I we're just talking about basically tarot, how tarot relates to our basically our queer journey, how it relates to our journey in the spiritual realm. Just a little bit of everything. Part of this is because he's a fairly new reader, and you've got me, who have been reading since, well, I bought my first tarot deck when I was 12,
Oh, wow.
and I'm going to be turning 40 in June, so that's 28 years I've got under my belt, and then you've got a year under your belt, so it's like this is a fun. Let's see here, Pastry Princess. What can I do to get through a troubled time? What's my general overview in life? Okay, so we're going to start with Pastry Princess. Hers
And then
was,
we'll go to
what can I do to
Waters.
get through a troubled time? And then Waters, what's my general overview of how I'm functioning in my life? So for this too, I'm going to pull a card. I'm also going to pull a sea melody for Pastry Princess, because I feel this will be a good use of the sea melody here.
Yeah, to have like a mantra or something, like a one little phrase to focus on. Absolutely.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mm. Ooh, I'm ready. Already, I'm ready. I love it.
Oh, you looked already. All right, ready? One. I'm doing two again this time.
Okay, I'm gonna do a tarot and I'm gonna do a sea melody. So I'll do
Perfect.
two cards in that order. I'm gonna go ahead and let you start.
Oh, okay, I'll start. Perfect. So I don't do reversals, I just do straight up. So I got Temperance and I got the Nine of Pentacles. So let me show that. So Temperance and Nine of Pentacles. For Temperance, it's very much um, practice makes perfect. Like if you want to go for it, you have to make sure you have the skills. You want to make sure that you're not just running off of emotion, and that's why she had the cups going back and forth. It's you teetering on emotions. You need to really kind of figure out a plan, and that's what the Nine of Pentacles is all about. It's about knowing your worth, knowing that you have all the experience you need with you, but also the confidence enough to address the situation head on, because it's Earth, so very stubborn, rigid, short. So to get through a tough time, you just have to work on. I take this as like just ways to relax, figure out like coping mechanisms. We're in a really stressful time, and on top of that, we have to work, deal with family, go on Instagram Live, and it's good to know that you have ways to fall back on that aren't harmful to you. So that's kind of what I'm getting from this.
Beautiful. I got the Fool, and I love this Fool because it is literally diving in. The Fool
Yes.
reminds, for me, the Fool, set apart designs. Hello, set apart designs. The
Hello.
the Fool for me is about literally diving in and just saying you could sit on the sidelines and fret, or you can step into it and just feel it and go through it. Because what I love about the Nine of Pentacles is the Nine of Pentacles is about enjoying for yourself. The Ten of Pentacles is about family and community and giving the abundance of those around you. The Nine of Pentacles to me is about abundance for yourself. How are you giving to
Love
yourself?
that. Love
And
that.
the Fool is giving me an indication of maybe it's time to find that new, how am I giving to myself? How am I serving myself? How am I filling my cup up first? And I think it's perfect because with this card, the C melody that I got was dive.
I
So,
mean,
and the dive says, you don't find pearls on the seashore. So, whatever that message is to you, my darling, I'm going to let you go through that. But how, I love the message of the pearl, because how is a pearl created? A bit of sand gets into an oyster and it irritates the oyster. So the oyster has to do something to make it softer and as a result of the
yep,
irritation, this beautiful, beautiful treasure from the deep is, is there.
absolutely. Oh
And
yeah.
I just want to
And
give a shout out. Set Apart Design is my girl Nettie.
Hi,
in
Nettie. How
Ohio.
you doing, girl?
She's an amazing designer. She loves to go into spaces like spaces that are non-traditional, like lost spaces, exposed brick, and she can do the most amazing things with them. So if you need a designer, Nettie is the person to go to.
Excellent. Shout outs everywhere.
Yeah. All right, Waters, what's my general overview on how I'm functioning in my life? I'm
Let me
kind of
shuffle
hearing
these
two
back
different
in.
questions. Is it kind of like the general overview of like where you've come from or where you're going? So I feel like a two-card pull, one from where you are prior to now, and then now to the future is kind of how I'm feeling this. So that's what
Ooh,
I'm
I
picking.
like that. Yeah,
Okay.
we can do that. I can't bridge shuffle because my hands are too small, so I have to do
Yeah,
it
I
like
have bigger
trading
man hands.
cards.
I have bigger man hands. Yeah, I mean, you can see this is not a small deck of cards. This is a pretty good sized deck. And,
Yes.
but now I can't shuffle a regular deck of cards because I'm like, these
Mm.
are so small. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
if you're used to like NY Lyric, hello. It's
Hola,
kind of like, if you're
Kira.
used
Hey,
to
girl.
petting dogs and, dogs you can be a little more aggressive with. And then you go and you try to pet a cat and you pet a cat like a dog. And the cat's just like, what the heck are you doing? So I don't know where that came from. That was just kind of like what came to me.
I was picking
Right.
up what you were putting down.
And that's all that matters, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
that's right. All right.
Okay.
So one past and then one future. You can go first this time because I
I can
went
go
first
first.
last
Okay,
time.
so
Yes.
for the past, I got Angel of the Ocean, which is actually temperance.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
And in this case, it's healing. So for the past, Waters, what I'm picking up is that you've been on this journey to really just find the harmony in your life. I don't want to say balance because to me, balance is like one thing goes out of whack over here, this falls. It's just literally finding the ebb and the flow and the harmony in life. And I feel like from the past till now, that's what you've been very focused on. How do I find ways that I serve others, serve myself, serve my authentic self, and at the same time, still do all the things that I want to do. And I feel like that's where the alchemy is coming in with the Angel of the Ocean. As you can see, she's not just putting stuff back and forth between the cups. She actually has the infinity symbol because it is all interconnected. Now, the future, I got the Nine of Cups. And in this deck,
Ooh.
it says it's the wish. For me, the Nine of Cups is about really what is it you truly desire, what is it you truly want, and what are you doing to go for it. Um, so in where I'm coming from with this is that it's like the future is yours. All the possibilities are there. Which is it that literally, which cup do you want to drink from? And if it's not what you
Love
want,
that.
it's okay because you can always choose another cup. So that's what I'm getting. What did you get?
I love that. Let's see. Ooh, wow. I pulled basically the exact opposite. Um, Past that card was Death card.
Giselle.
So with the Death card, I believe actually I don't know what card it represents or what sign it represents, so I couldn't tell you.
Pisces.
Um, is it Pisces?
I think it's Pisces. I think. Don't quote me because
Okay.
I'm not an astrologer by any stretch of the imagination, but I think.
And I'm just getting into it, so I'm not gonna say anything that I don't know. So I'll say what I do know. So with the Death card, it's not so much like death as in you are dying. It's more of one part of your life is ending and soon another one will begin. So I sense there was a time, or there still is a time, that you are in this transition period from trying to wrap up and tie up all the ends of your old life so you can start focusing on the new part of your life. And yeah, and with temperance it kind of goes well together. It's like you're in that motion and you're doing some stuff over here and then you're going over here now. And sometimes it gets really hectic because you're going back and forth. These cards worked out really well together. So look at death as like the girl listens or looks at her at the death card. He's kind of like, where is it? Right here. It's really hard to see. She's kind of looking up with wonder. She's not afraid. So don't go into it being afraid. Go into it being interested. Be, curious about it. And that's what's going to start propelling you out of this transition period into your new one. And for the future, I got the Two of Swords. So this is very much about like getting in your own head, right? If you're spending all this time focusing and you don't think you're worthy enough to drink any of the cups, you're just gonna sit there and you're just gonna mope about it, honestly. And but the good thing, not the good thing, the interesting thing about the Two of Swords, it's that it's self-inflicted. Nobody's making you holding those swords. Nobody put that blindfold on you. You're by yourself saying in front of the ocean, and people are like, yeah, like we get you're going through it, but you did that. So try not to take a lot of self-pity going forward, kind of like the example with the cups, like you're gonna have to try a few things, but eventually you will get to something, and that moment will be rewarding for you. So that's what I'm getting from these.
I like too the connection of the two. Can you share with me? It was the Two of Swords. That's what it was. For
Yeah,
me, the
Two
Two
of
of Swords.
Swords.
You know exactly what you were saying too. Nobody's holding you in this place except yourself.
Hmm.
Literally, you're choosing to stay still when you have options available to you. So, yeah. Okay, we've got two more. We got two more things pop up here. Who do we have here? We got Finn. All right. Thank you, Waters. Thank you so much. Okay. We
Hey,
got
thank you
Pastry
so
Princess,
much.
who makes the most of a hard situation. All right, X Turtle Box. Pisces here. How's work looking for me next week? Thank you, Waters. Thank you so much for
I pulled the
asking.
cards for him before, and I told him, but we'll see
No,
how
don't mom
that
dad
course
us here,
changes.
Turtle. Don't mom dad us here. If I tell you something totally different, don't go to Maddie and say, well, yes, but Stella said this. Naughty.
Listen, if you want him in the divorce, you can take him.
Do I get the camper too?
Do you get the camper? Yeah, that's fine. I'll give you that because he won't want to be without it.
You can keep him in the divorce. I'll take the camper. Wait, that's not how that works.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, then you'll hear it.
Oh, is
All
he
right,
next to
let's
you?
see. He's laying in bed next to me
Oh my
listening.
gosh, that's too funny. Well, bring him on. Let's wait. Bring him on. Bring him on. I want to wait. I want to say hi to him.
You want to come say hi? He's a cutie patootie. He's made for camera.
There's like a 10-second delay.
Well, I can't help it.
Oh, hi, love.
Hi.
Great to meet you. Cyberly. Hi. All right, we're gonna pull some cards for you, but thanks for indulging me on that. It's Oh, okay, you can go back to bed now, darling. Don't worry. Good.
Oh,
Oh
there's
Go,
no.
like
go
a
ahead,
big
honey.
delay.
That's okay. Thank you.
Hi.
Nice to meet you, love.
There's a delay,
Thank you.
so he's
That's cool.
he's, but that's okay. So he'll hear it.
All
All
right.
right. So let's see how his week is looking.
Mm.
Let me pull. All right. Should I go
Thank
first
you,
this time?
Wonders. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take the question away. Perfect.
All
All right.
right.
I think I started last time, so why don't you go ahead and start?
All right. Let's see. Ooh, this is really good. So I got the Magician and I got the Star. This is a really good combination, I think.
It's gonna
The
pair
Mag
very well with mine, so I'll give you that
Oh,
right
then
now.
I'm excited. So with the Magician, you have this idea that like, Jack of all trades, master of none. I tend to look at it more like you have enough knowledge from doing different things, and that is kind of where your like your emotions come from and where your like decision making comes from because you have all these reference points to go back to, kind of like what I mentioned before. Um, you have the experiences to get you through it. And with the magician, he's confident with it too because he spent the time to do it. He's worked on it. Is he perfect? Of course not, but he has enough knowledge and enough things around him to get him through it. And with the star, this is kind of like the smaller or the bigger wish card. This is the bigger wish card. Also the star represents the calm after the storm. So if you've been having a tough week, which I know he has, and you've been putting in the work, and you haven't been seeing it yet, like the light at the end of the storm is coming really, really close. So I would say with this, like the amount of work you've put in is going to guide you in the right direction, and it looks very, very bright.
That goes beautifully with my two cards. First that came up was the Wheel of Fortune.
Yes.
So Wheel of Fortune is kind of telling me that things are in flux because things are moving, things are shifting, things are changing, which is, it's uncomfortable, but at the end of the day is also the course that you're meant to be on. Because at the very end of it all, I have the Six of Wands, which is the card of victory.
Mm-hmm.
So I really can't say anything more other than it goes very well with what you're saying. You came out of this period of just like raw energy that to create with the magician. You had a vision with the star, and it's been a spiral, it's been a
Yep.
whirlpool, but things spinning and things have been uncomfortable. But that's because everything was rearranging itself to get you to what you wanted to do, which is going to bring that success, that victory. So
Absolutely.
I think whatever is going to happen this week, I just got a ping that said Thursday, next Thursday. I don't know why, but I just got a ping that said next Thursday. I think there's going to be something massive happening to you next Thursday. Sometimes I just get words that pop in my mind. So
That's good.
JMP Photo is my friend Josh, who's done some of
Hi.
my photography. Hello, love. He's also the Magician's Menagerie, also another wonderful tarot reader.
Excellent.
So it's been a crazy time, so I hope it all aligns. So here's what I'm saying to that. It is aligning because when the Wheel of Fortune comes into play, it's like a merry-go-round. Merry-go-rounds can be fun, but if you get them
Yeah.
going too fast, they can also be nauseating. They can also be uncomfortable because you're holding on for your dear life, trying not to actually fly off. But that's really just the universe rearranging itself to give you what you want. You've basically said, "This is what I want." The universe is saying, "Okay, I hear you. I'm going to make the path for you. It's not going to be comfortable." Because rarely is it comfortable. But at the very end of it all, there is success and there is that thing. So, yes, I would love
Absolutely.
to do another photo shoot with you sometime in spring. I did my very first photo shoot when I moved here
Oh, that's
in
nice. That's
last summer. Yeah,
awesome.
I was sweating my head off. I mean, it was hot. I was dragged up. I wore a black dress, which was the biggest mistake. And
An
we had some,
OBD.
yeah. So let me check on the time real quick. We're about 8:57, so we're about an hour into this. Anybody else have any other questions? I would say let's give it about a couple more minutes because if there's no other questions by that time, then we could probably wrap this up. So, yeah, of course, Turtle,
Yeah.
please. I'll ask Maddie how it's going. I've got the direct pipeline, so I will ask Maddie
Yes, you
how
do.
it's going. Any other questions, loves? Because there was one more question that came up for Pastry Princess, and we got it. It was the what can I do to make the most of a hard situation? And Pastry Princess, keep us up to date on it, please. I want to hear what happens. I want to hear how it all went. I'll ask Maddie. So,
She'll let
oh,
she'll
we
let
got
me
another
know.
one here. Uh, what is there in the future for my career? Ooh,
Let's
career
do it.
readings.
This is a good one to end on too.
I think so. I think so, especially with going into springtime and everything.
Yeah. And you pulled the Fool earlier, and I was just getting that whole vibe lately. It's like winter is finally ending. We're getting to the end. We're in Pisces season. Like we're almost into Aries season. We're getting that fire. Like we've been waiting for it with the harsh winds, the rough earth, and all the rain and all the snow. So we are ready for our fire girl.
Yeah, I know the world is when it snows in Texas. The world is trying to reset itself. We were
Then
lucky
you
down here
definitely
in
need some
Florida that we
heat.
didn't get that, but
Yeah.
we still got some pretty chilly days. So
Oh yeah,
uh,
I can imagine.
I'm actually going to see you, Waters, at Old Town. I'll be going that way afterwards. So there's a show.
Pisces season turning in spring.
It's true. It's
That's
true.
right, honey. Yeah.
You know what happens when it's Pisces season? I say go fishing. Uh,
Oh,
oh,
he's gonna tell me that joke over and over again because he's gonna think it's so funny. So I have
oh,
to hear it all the time now.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Let's see, you started last time. Shall I start this time?
You may start this time.
Okay, so I've got two very interesting cards. I'm just going to leave it that way. I'm actually going to take the question down here. So the Six of Wands came up again.
Ooh.
So I'm getting success. I'm getting success. Now, this is the very interesting part of it. There is going to be success on the horizon. But I got so in my deck, this is the Tower. It's a
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah. So I feel that there's success, but I feel there's also going to be a massive shakeup. I feel like old systems, old ways of doing things, old mindsets of how things need to be done. I feel like those are going to. I just heard month in my mind, so I feel like the next month it might be uncomfortable because old systems are really being broken down to take so that there's room for a new system. And I feel that at the very end of it, I feel that you're enjoying success now, and I feel that that's basically the calm. I want to say the calm before the storm. It's a really dig into your success, really dig into what you know you can do and what you have brought about, because the next couple of months, next 2 months, I feel there's going to be a lot of shifting up, and at the end of it all, it's going to feel very uncomfortable. It's going to feel like basically things are breaking down around you, but holding on to this, I know what I bring, I know what I can create, and I know I can ride this wave
Very
is
that.
going
Yep.
to be key to you writing this out because you can do it, and it's going to be a time for you to really test your mettle and test your own leadership.
It's almost like building up your like your resistance almost, or like
Yes,
kind of like this is like you going up, so when it hits you, you're not going to get knocked all the way back down.
you're building up resiliency.
Yes, thank you. Yeah,
Beautiful.
absolutely. All right, so let's see what I got. So I got the Page of Wands and the Six of Pentacles.
Ooh,
When I see
interesting.
the Page of Wands, yeah, yep, absolutely. And that's usually about like middle energy, like sharing and kind of dealing with stuff like that. When I see the Page of Wands, I think of a sassy little kid that thinks just because he watched something on TV means that he can just do it. He's like, oh, like I want to be an astronaut, and it's like, yeah, like you have. There's a lot of work that's going to go into that. You realize, right? So the kind of this energy where it's like you're really inspired to do something, but your passion is probably outweighing your experience. Um, and then that kind of blends into with the Six of Pentacles, or Six of Coins even. He's literally like giving stuff out.
Mhm.
Maybe there's something you can offer instead of something that you can necessarily like try and lead with or do. Like
He just
maybe
responded
uh
to, I really hope it can help me do more with tarot and readings because he is also an aspiring tarotpreneur
oh,
too. So,
perfect.
yeah,
So,
perfect.
well, you know what? And that kind of actually that makes sense now with the Six of Pentacles. It's like take what you have now and start building those connections with people. You know,
Mhm.
if you're trying to get further in your career, it's all about connections. And even with like for hobbies and stuff, it's all about who you know because that's how you get experience and that's how you grow your mindset. So why not try and not say like you have to give every piece and part of yourself to everybody around you just to make friends, but you know, put yourself out there. Be like, hey, listen, like if you want to do something, let me know. Be the one to initiate those connections as well. And then so that way you can start fueling your passion without your ego. So that's kind of what I'm getting.
I think too with the let's see, tarot therapy by Bond. Don't be afraid to take a handout either. I think
Yeah,
too
yeah.
with
Accept help.
uh, yeah, exactly. Accept the support. Could you hold up the
Hmm.
Six of Coins for me really quick, Maddie?
Yes, I sure
I
can.
think the other thing too to notice is that yes, his right hand is giving, but if you'll notice in his left hand there is a scale, and
Yep.
the scale is still in balance, which is telling me he's only giving what he knows he can. He is not giving to his own detriment. So,
Yeah. I'm glad you
I
caught
think
that. Yeah,
that's a
yeah. Awesome.
I think that's something worth mentioning too, is that yes,
Yeah, thank
give
you. Thank you for
give
saying
what
that.
you know you can give. Do not give so much that you forget that it's irresponsible. I really want to
Yeah.
connect more with Stella and you and other tarot people and witchy friends. I'm telling you, really, and this,
Yeah.
I didn't believe this until I experienced it myself. For me personally, Instagram has been one of the best ways to do it. And for me, Instagram, or the gram of Insta, as I like to call it,
Yes.
has been literally I haven't posted in a few days. I'm going to post something. And from there, that's when other ideas came about, like me and Julius doing our first reading live, this coming about, you and me. It's how you and I met, Maddie. And
Yes,
literally,
absolutely.
literally, we have such a wonderful following and a wonderful community here on Instagram that's, in my experience, has been all about uplifting each other. I have seen spiritual spiritual entrepreneurs on LinkedIn tear each other apart because
Yeah.
they're basically, no, I know the right answer. No, I know the right answer. No, I don't. And I'm like, this is a spiritual business. Nobody has the right answer. Everybody
Yeah,
has their
that's
own.
the whole point. That's why we all talk to each other about
Right.
this stuff.
Exactly. You don't need to gatekeep because everybody's gates are their own. And
Hmm.
it's literally just I agree, tarot therapy. I love the
Absolutely.
tarot Insta community. I love it. And you never know what's going to happen. Like, it started for me personally, it started with Dragon Tarot. And then the next thing you know, I had an idea to do a monthly makeover where I do a makeover based on a tarot card. Do I plan to make money from that? Not really. It's just something I'm doing to express. So keep
Yeah,
moving forward,
absolutely.
darling. Make sure you set aside that time. So, yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
let me check the time real quick here. We are right at 9:06, so we've been at it for about an hour and 6 minutes. I think that's a pretty good place to start here. First and foremost, so Maddie, thank you
Yes.
so much for joining me and agreeing to this. We did postpone it because my schedule changed at my day job, so I'm glad we got a chance to reconnect. And actually, I came to him with the idea first, and then he came to me and it's like, hey, let's do it. And I'm like, okay. We postponed it once, and he came to me and was like, so let's make this happen. And I'm like, I like you. We're going to make it happen.
Yes.
Where can they, outside of Instagram, where else can they find you? Like, where on social media can they find you, Maddie?
Um, so I do most of my tarot stuff on my tarot account. So you can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Instagram, and I'm starting to do my YouTube and TikTok once I can figure that beast out. Um, all at
TikTok
the
is a
ta
whole beast, too. I'm
I
beginning to figure
know.
it out, too. And I'm like, I think I'm getting too old for some of this social media shit.
That's how I feel doing that already. And I'm like, that's not a good sign.
It's
Um,
possible, but it takes a
yeah.
lot of dedication. So,
Absolutely. So you can follow me. It's at the Tarot Gamer. You can also follow me on my business stuff at Obsidian Desert, obsidiandesert.com. Going to do the shameless self promote. Um,
great.
it's a great cause. Support small local queer owned businesses. Stop giving to the man. Let's build our communities up rather than support big people. And it would help me out, obviously. Of course, it's my dream. I want to make a difference in the queer community. And I hope that shows in not just me as a person, but in my tarot as well. So if you follow and if you are able to check out my website, I would super, super, super appreciate it. Stella, thank you so much for having me. This was so exciting. We will
Of
definitely be
course.
doing this again.
Yes, absolutely. I especially want to hear more and more and more about your RV dreams and how that comes around because especially as things open up, sometimes I just want to get a camper van, load it up, hit all the music festivals and hit all the spiritual festivals and do tarot readings. So I'm with you 100% on it, love.
Yeah, we're
As for
both
me,
metalheads, so we're just gonna go follow like Slipknot around and Corn and
oh,
everyone.
do it. Go. You can always do Rock on the Range. I'm sure you can make a ton of
Oh,
money
we
at Rock on
will
the Range.
we will do that for sure.
And as for me, of course, I'm the Queen of Glam Tarot. You can follow me, Queen of Glam Tarot, at Instagram. You can also go to my website, queenofglamtarot.com. Look out for all my different offerings. High Priestess of Glam is my tarot makeover. Of course, I'm also an Amazon associate, so this month I am featuring the Oceanic Tarot. use the link in my link tree because you buy it from Amazon. As you're sitting here saying, small, locally owned, I'm sitting here saying buy from Amazon.
There's some things you can do from Amazon. It's okay.
So if you
Thanks,
so
babe.
choose to buy from Amazon and you use my link, it's a little kickback for me. I'm just giving it a try. I don't know that I'm going to do it for an extended period of time. And you can also find me at Queen of Glam Tarot on Facebook as well, although I'm probably going to be letting go of that page and focusing mainly on my Instagram because I like pictures and Instagram is just so much more fun with pictures.
And the
So
community is so amazing too.
it
Absolutely.
is. It is. And I'm just going to tell I need to create a tagline. I really want to create a tagline for when I get out. So let's create one right now that hopefully I can remember.
Oh no, okay. Let's see. A
Because,
tagline.
like two of my favorite creators, Holly and Esther, who have the Wildly Tarot podcast, they say go forth and tarot wildly. And I'm like, I need something like that. So for me, I used to say make it a magical day. And
I
that's
love
kind
that.
of Make It a Magical Day by Stella B. So I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna keep that. Actually, let's problem solve. I'm just gonna keep it. So guys, make it a magical day. Maddie, it's been a pleasure. I'm sure we will do this again. And thanks for letting your fiance join us for a half second too.
Oh, of
Have a wonderful
course.
rest of your night, and I can't wait to do this again soon.
Yes, me too. Thank you guys, everyone, so much for hanging out today. I appreciate it. And we will definitely do this again. This was so much fun. I'm excited.
Awesome. Have a great night, my darlings.
Have a great night, everyone. Thank you.